Hey, good afternoon, and welcome to Rick's Retirement Journey. Today is the 26th of August. It's a Tuesday. It's a beautiful day. The sun is slowly setting. It's approximately 5:51 p.m. And overall, it's just been a very nice day. Once again, let's do a quick talk about turn off the television and 101 substitute activities that you can do instead of watching television. So, this is going to be part number 6. So, let's get to it. First one, research your family history. Uh, I've been able to do a little bit of this, and before some of our family members, our senior family members have passed away, I was able to ask them, a lot of questions. I took a lot of notes and things like that. I'm not a quote unquote official member of Ancestry.com or anything like that. I haven't done the DNA test or anything like that, but I've been able to go out to the internet and, type in our name and, see what's out there. Plus I gather some information from, my siblings and people like that, have spoken to our, those that are no longer with us. So yeah, research your family history. Would never know. You're never going to know what you're going to find while you're looking. I was quite surprised when I typed in my name, many years ago. It was interesting, and how people have traveled from around the world to get to these United States. So yeah, if you have an opportunity, research your family history. Next one, play board games with your family or friends. I'm not sure our friends would really be into board games. You never know. I think I would be a little bit more. It would be a little bit easier to play with family, especially grandchildren who fortunately live close by. Hey, come on over, let's play Monopoly. I know my one grandson, he really likes to play chess. So we'll break out the pieces from time to time and knock out a game, and he's getting better, but he hasn't beaten me yet. So yeah, play some board games with family and friends. Play cards. Sit down and watch Jeopardy. Do some type of activity that's interactive. Yeah, and I know I said watch Jeopardy, and you're not supposed to. This is about not watching television. Yeah, play a board game. I think that would be fun. Cook dinner with family or friends. I'm not sure about cooking dinner with friends. Cooking dinner with family. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Day. Barbecuing and things like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. You could also do that with some of your friends, but usually big dinners like that, we just kind of keep to ourselves, just with family. But hey, if you're going to do a barbecue or something like that, sure, invite your friends over, have them bring over something, cook up some dogs, some burgers, some steaks, whatever the case may be. So yeah, you can cook with friends if you want to. But yeah, that would be something that you could just do just to converse, and maybe afterwards you could play some board games. You never know. Paint a flower pot. We have a lot of flower pots. If I was to take my camera and kind of, spool it around, we've got a lot of flower pots. We've got tomatoes and peppers and basil and roses and marigolds and other plants. But I think kind of the thing here is just grab one of those really small ones and get some either watercolors or maybe some acrylics or something like that, and just paint. Just paint it. Paint whatever design that you would like to. Maybe paint a quote or a saying. Excuse me. That might be pretty interesting. You could end up maybe popping some pens in there or something like that, or maybe put in some of those marbles or those beads and just stick some pens in there. So you'll always have some pens. But yeah, get a flower pot, paint it up, make it look nice. Up to you, whatever designs you want to put on there. Clean up your room. Our room's not too bad. Yeah, it can be picked up a little bit more here and there, but I always try to do the basics of making sure I don't have any clothes on the floor, my books are put away, my bed is made. Or at least my side of the bed is made. Hanging up my clothes, making sure, clothes are in the hamper and things like that. But sometimes break out that dust rag. Knock off the dust on some things and just go from there. So yeah, clean up your room. Kick a soccer ball. Um, we don't have soccer balls at our house. We don't have basketballs at our house. We don't have footballs at our house. We don't have baseballs at our house. Um, since we have no children living here, we don't have a lot of sports or athletic equipment except maybe my hiking shoes, my running shoes, um, sports caps, jerseys, and things like that. But if you are one of those families that has children or possibly grandchildren, yeah, break out that soccer ball. Kick it around. Show them some of your Pele moves. If you don't know who Pele is, go out there and look him up. But yeah, get a soccer ball, kick it around. It might be fun. Make up a play at school or with friends. I don't go to school. I'm not going to make up a play with friends. But if you happen to be one of those very, very outgoing people and you have a group of people that like to put together plays or something like that, yeah, by all means, go ahead and do that. Make up your own play. It's pretty cool where you could maybe reenact the scene from a book or whatever the case may be. I remember going to college, and our professor had broken us up into groups. So I think there's about 4 or 5 people in our group. And one thing that we had to do was that each of us had to take upon a role of a particular portion of a book and act out those roles. And it was pretty interesting. It was pretty fun. So if you want to do something like that with family and or friends, sure, by all means, go ahead and do so. It's a whole heck of a lot better than watching some mindless TV. Personal opinion, in my humble opinion. So please don't be offended. Write a letter to your favorite author. This can be very, very interesting. I know that I'm hoping that there are a lot of people out there that may be watching this video that are readers. I have a very, very eclectic taste as far as topics that I read, and I'll talk about that here a little bit later. But yeah, write a letter to an author about one of the books that they may have written, telling them what you thought about the book, and yeah, just go from there. I know authors always like to hear about their books. So whatever book you may be reading, find out the publisher's name, try to find the author's name. And it's so much easier nowadays where you can go out there online and find that information instead of having to look through telephone books or get it through word of mouth or whatever the case may be. But yeah, write an author, let them know, let them know how or what you thought about their book. I think that would be pretty interesting. I might do that. Play with your pet. If you have a pet, dog, cat, guinea pig, tarantula, turtle, whatever it may be, spend some time with it. We have a dog, and we've had her for I think 10, 11, 12 years. I lose count sometimes, but she is definitely a true member of the family. And I literally interact with her, play with her every day. She loves to play with these little rubber spiky balls that if you squeeze them, they make a squeaky sound. I'll throw it, she'll run to get it and bring it back, but then she won't let me get it. Or sometimes she'll be at the top of the stairs and she'll just let that ball drop down the stairs, and I'll be down at the bottom. I'll pick it up, I'll throw it back up to her, and we'll just kind of go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But yeah, if you have a pet, by all means, interact, play with your pet. And if you happen to have a fenced-in yard, chase it around. They love to be chased. They, many of them love to be chased. They love to play, and just go from there. This is kind of some people kind of look at this as either work. Some people look at it as a hobby. Some people look at it as exercise. Do some yard work. Today was one of those days. Like I said, beautiful weather day. I think the temperature got no higher than maybe 81, maybe 82 degrees. The humidity is low. It's comfortable sitting outside. The bugs are not biting me or anything like that. But I was actually going to do some yard work today. I actually got up early this morning. I've actually had my yard working clothes on. They are clean, and for some reason I just opted not to do yard work today. Um, it was one of those things that I think Buzz and Steve and so many others out there say, yeah, it's not a have to. Um, hey, yard work will be there tomorrow. Or as my wife even said, I told her I was going to go out there and pull some weeds by the mailbox. She goes, you know what? The weeds will be there tomorrow. And yes, they will be. So I've got a couple of spots around the yard where I need to pull up some weeds. I got some bushes I need to trim back just a little bit. And if I get really motivated enough, I'll, go ahead and, cut the yard and just kind of trim it and edge it a little bit and just go from there. So yeah, get out there and do some yard work instead of watching television. In fact, actually go out there, do some yard work, come back inside, do some reading, write your favorite author, play a board game with your family. There are so many things that you could do besides just sitting in front of the television all the time. And I know it's like, okay, Rick, I'm sitting here and I'm watching your video, so I'm actually in front of the television or on my phone or on my pad or whatever the case may be. So maybe you're saying that I shouldn't be watching this? No, by all means, not at all. But instead of getting up first thing in the morning and getting some breakfast and having a cup of coffee and putzing around the house and spending the entire day watching television, there are so many other things that you could be doing. I will be covering more of those in a future video. But at the same time, and I'm not saying don't do it, but there are some other things that you can do besides watching television. But if you happen to be one of those people that just want to, quote unquote, veg out and watch television all day, by all means, go ahead and do so. That's your life. That's my life. We do what we want to do. For those of us that are retired, hey, we have those options that we can do that. Like I said, I've got my yard working clothes on today, and I didn't do any yard work whatsoever. I will go out there and water the grass later on today, and that'll be my yard work for today. But I won't be pulling any weeds. I won't be edging the lawn. I won't be cutting the grass or anything like that. So, yeah, that's about it for today. I got a couple more videos coming up here after this one, but for now we'll call this one done. As I forgot what his name is, but I will have to put together a list of people that I follow. It's pretty interesting list, and we just go from there. So other than that, if you like this video, like, comment, share, subscribe. And, if you have some things that I may not have already mentioned, but I may mention later on down the road, yeah, go ahead and toss those out in the comment section. I hope I didn't offend anybody by saying mindless television. Some of it is, some of it isn't. But again, we are all individuals. We all have different tastes in television, and we just go from there. So that's it for today. Until next time, Rick out.